Wow, it has been a long time since I've done a video for this channel. So today is Thursday, March the 23rd. This is my last day at work before the SHINee concert tomorrow, and I'm filming this little intro because I felt like I wasn't in a space where I could really start doing my regular videos for the Shawol360 channel, but a SHINee concert is a very special thing in the trajectory or history of my K-pop fandom, so I figured if I was gonna do anything for this channel after such a long hiatus, this was gonna be it. And I can't promise when I'll be able to come back, but I hope you guys enjoy my SHINee World 5 tour experience because it's something special. It's something special. So today is the 24th, it's the morning of the SHINee World concert, and it is super dark outside. I can't help but wonder if it's dark because it rained last night, or if it's dark because it's getting ready to rain again. So there probably won't be any really pretty outdoor shots like there were the last time I did a fan cam, because I'm probably not going to be standing outside that long if it's raining, but yeah. I hate that it's dark like this on such a great day, but you know, maybe this is just the one bad thing that has to happen during every concert cycle, and then everything else is going to be great. We'll see. So if you were judging the SHINee concert just by who's out here right now, you might think that it's not going to be lit. But it is like 5 hours until the concert starts. It's not even 3 o'clock. The concert starts at 7:30, and people are out here. And one of the most notable things I've noticed about like people being out here, there's so many people wanting to pass out banners, so many people being really cool, but also there's a really diverse crowd here. Like we have people who are differently abled, we have people of just about every ethnic group you could think of, people with different body types, it's men, it's women, people who speak different languages, and everyone I've encountered has been super, super sweet. So I can't wait to see what the venue's like once it gets completely full. But yeah, it's been really wonderful. And finally, after the last time when I had no Minho merchandise, I have a Minho fan and a Minho banner. So I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be a good day. So it's a little after 4, and all the action is on the other side of the theater. I'm over here because it's actually a lot quieter here. It's pretty much dead on this side. But on the other side, that's where all the fan merch is, it's where all the fan projects are, like everything is on the other side of the theater. And I'd film over there, but I feel a little bit self-conscious filming, especially because I'm by myself. If I was with somebody else, I could probably play it off, but I'm here on my lonesome, so I really don't feel like having people wondering who's this crazy lady filming us. But yeah, there's a lot of people here because the concert doesn't start until 7:30, and it's 4:05, 4:06 right now, and there's already this many people. Most of the people that you see are in line to pick up their merchandise from Subkulture. I already got mine, but there's a lot of people just like in line waiting for will call. So yeah, it's a lot going on here, but it's been really cool. I've seen Mr. Fink, so that was a positive. I've seen so much SHINee aqua blue, beautiful colors. In some of those interesting ways, I've seen it in hair, shoes, pants, shirts, dresses, like all over the place. I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit maybe so you can see like all the colors that are out here, even freaking umbrellas, like it's everywhere. And I decided I'd do something very similar myself, so I'm not wearing like head to toe SHINee, but I do have cool kicks.
You and I, baby. You and I, baby. Whoa, whoa. You and I, baby. Till I die, baby. Your pace again, I wherever you go. 내두 손에 잡아줘, girl. 어디든 떠나자 바로. 되게 끊어 내게로. 오늘 밤 다 주고 싶어. 네 곁에 잠들고 싶어.
Last time I came to the concert, I had pre-ordered merchandise, and I did pre-order merchandise this time, but not that much. So I'm standing in line to try to get the t-shirt and the poster. The t-shirt's $35, the poster's $10, but I just found out they don't accept credit cards in line. So remember guys, before you ever go to a concert, bring as much cash as possible. This is a $3 bag of chips. It's a damn shame. like fucking walking into heaven. Just follow the lights. So now that I'm in my seat, I realize I'm on Minho's side. This is just the best. This is the best ever. Alright y'all, I lied. This is the closest I'm gonna get to Courtney and Jasmine tonight. This is my seat, this is my lap, and that's them. I'm tempted to go over there and say hi, but I will leave them alone because as you can see there is a waiting line to meet those two. It's still amazing though. Wow. You guys, I'm gonna try, but probably not. SHINee, 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 SHINee. Oh man. Okay, so it's been like 3 days since the concert, and in that time I've had to work both days. So this is my first day off, and also my throat was really sore from screaming for several hours. So yeah, I finally have a chance to sit down and talk to you guys about how everything went. And I want to start by talking about the difference between the fan meet that I went to here in Dallas and then the concert that I went to. Both were at the same venue, it was the same group, you know, so there's definitely some comparisons to be made there. But what really made the difference this time is that it was just SHINee. You know, last time they brought people up from the audience to participate in games. There was a lot of talking. They had an interpreter who sat on stage with them. And there was like, you know, performing and then some downtime and then some performing and then some downtime. Whereas this was just straight up performances. There were a couple of chatty moments for people to do costume changes, and there were some VCRs that were shown. But for the most part, this was just a straight up and down series of songs and performances, and I'm not mad at that. That was really wonderful. But I will say I'm grateful that my first experience with SHINee was the fan meet, because one of the things that I think people missed out on going to the SHINee World 5 as opposed to going to the fan meet is they really didn't get as much of the personalities of all the members. And the one member especially that I noticed we got less of his personality was Onu. Onu was super sweet during the concert. Don't get me wrong, he was wonderful and he performed very well. His voice sounded amazing, like he was everything. But it seemed at the beginning of the concert that he might have been in a little bit of pain, and there was a couple of times where he missed some steps and he looked like he was very tired throughout the entire thing. So he didn't really give us as much of his personality as he did during the fan meet, whereas in the fan meet he was trying to speak English, telling us he wanted to be our boyfriend, and they were doing the charades and he was really like letting loose with the goofiness. Like Onu really was one of the highlights of the fan meet. And during the concert, as much as he looked delicious on stage and everything that he wore and as great as he sounded, I could just tell that part of Onu's job as the leader is to let the others shine. Like he's supposed to be the steady support in the background while the others really do kind of take the forefront. And that was something that a lot of people would have missed out on if they didn't go to both. Another thing that I noticed that was really different from both the fan meet and the concert tour is that even though the stage was about the same size, well, I mean, it was the same venue, obviously, the usage of the stage was really clever as opposed to like the bare bones usage of the stage for the fan meet. During the fan meet, there was the big LED screen in the back, but that was really it in terms of any kind of like staging to be done. And of course, there were no background dancers. This time, they had kind of an upper deck and a lower deck and a set of stairs, and the LED screen really did play a great role in making the entire performance a lot more colorful. So it looked a lot fuller, even though it obviously wasn't to the scale of a SHINee World Tour in Seoul or in Japan or even in like Thailand or Hong Kong. And so I really do like that they did that, and I would have appreciated if they could have done something like that during the fan meet, but I know that it was supposed to be a smaller scale production for the fan meet, so that was a big difference. But those are the things that between the two stood out the most to me in terms of differences and similarities. Now, let's just talk about the straight up concert. So much music was played. Oh my gosh, I don't know how those boys were standing by the end of it all. They had to just passed out when the show was over, because from the very first song to the very last song, there was no lag in them hitting their movements, doing any of the choreography. Like, they kept it tight the entire time. Now, yes, there was a period in the middle where there was some balladry being done because they needed a chance to catch their breath, let their bodies cool down, just get a little bit of rest. But outside of that, like, they were jumping up and down during some of the performances. During Ready or Not, they were spinning in place and jumping up and down, and the audience was jumping with them. Like, I'm in the audience and I was literally sweating because I was so hyped up, and I wasn't doing any choreography. They were. So, I mean, it's just incredible to see the kind of stamina that those boys have. I thought that they had stamina during the fan meet, but during the tour, they're like Energizer bunnies. You put a battery in their back and they just keep going and going and going. So it was wonderful to see that. It really made me think I need to get my shit together and try to get to Korea, because if they could be like that over here in the States, when I know that they're jet lagged, when I know that they're tired, then I can't even begin to imagine what they're like when they're at home and they've had a chance to really rest and prep for the big performance. Another thing that was really cool about the concert was getting a chance to see the VCRs. You know, it's one of those things that when you're looking at DVDs of the concert performance, those things seem cheesy, they seem corny. You don't understand why they would put them in there when they could do maybe something else in between costume changes. But in the context of the SHINee World Tour, the VCRs really did hype up the audience. It was a clever way of playing songs that they weren't prepared to perform on stage, which was really nice. Like, I have never made a secret that I am not a fan of the song Woof Woof. I never have been, I never will be. However, the VCR that they did for Woof Woof made me appreciate the performance aspect of that song, because they really made it into a very comedic performance. And so you were able to kind of put the lyrics in the background and just enjoy the tempo and the rhythm and kind of the goofiness of the guys. So I thought that the use of the VCRs was really, really nice. I love that so much. And then one other thing that really impressed me about the SHINee World Tour as opposed to the fan meet is during the fan meet, because you had so much conversation and interplay and stuff like that, really it was all about the personality of the members as people. Their performances were good and they performed as a unit during the fan meet, but you really didn't get a sense of each person's personality as a stage entity, because there were performances and then there was the conversation and then the games and then more performances. This was just all performance. So for a couple of hours, you really get to see like who everybody is on stage while they're performing, and they build their own kind of on-stage character. And because of that, it further solidifies the notion in my mind that SHINee has always got to be those 5 men. Because while Onu is the leader, like I said, he seemed like he was the more lower energy of all the guys. He seemed like the one that held back the most, or at least seemed like he went to the background the most. And also it's because of the way that they actually positioned him in choreography. Taemin, of course, as shy and kind of introverted as people think he is, on stage he is a dynamo, and he's all about his performance, and he's full of kinetic energy. And you definitely can see why SM took this young boy who a lot of people probably thought was too young to be in a group, and they put him in the middle, in the front, because he's just got that kind of draw to your eye. Jonghyun, I don't know how he can sing the way he does, but every single time he opens his mouth, you're amazed that he can continue to sound so perfect after so long. Now, he's not the strongest dancer, But if you're looking for emotion, he, for me, is the most emotional person on the stage in terms of feeling the lyrics and really giving his all to letting his voice be projected out of his body through his movement and everything else. But then the real surprise is just how valuable Minho and Key are to this group. If you saw the little clip that I had that showed the very beginning of the concert and it's hitchhiking, Key is the first one to talk to the audience. And throughout all of the performances, Key is kind of the de facto leader of the performances. Like, he is the one that is giving you the fire, the passion, that it's not just about he's a great dancer. It's not just about he's a great singer. It is about he wants to make the audience believe that they don't want to be anywhere else in the world but where they are right now. And he's getting you to clap, he's getting you to cheer, he's getting you to holler and scream. He's doing everything he can to draw your eye to him, to the choreography, to the costumes. Like, he really is somebody who was born to be on stage, and it's completely evident. And now I see why Key makes so much money doing musicals, because you can't look away from him. Like, if he wasn't your bias before, he's trying to compete to be your bias wrecker. Like, he really is that strong a performer. And Minho, like I've always believed and will believe until the end of time, he is the heart of SHINee. He's not the strongest singer. He is still a surprisingly strong dancer, though. He's a better dancer than Jonghyun and Onu, but he loves the audience. And he loves his group. And he loves the background dancers. During, I think it was Ready or Not, while the guys were kind of dancing off to themselves, he was dancing with the background dancers. And, you know, he was hyping up the audience and waving to everybody at every chance he got. And, like, you could just see on his face the wonderment and surprise when people were cheering for him. And during Ready or Not, we had these fan slogans that we held up from the MrMinho.com site. And you could just see on his face the joy, like, oh my gosh, you guys did something for me, what? So I'm telling you now, like, he needs to be in that group. That group needs him. That group needs him. That group needs Key. They're not disposable members. Just because they don't do the brunt of the vocal harmonizing, they're not the ones that people think of when they think of the voices of SHINee. They still need to be there, because those five together have every element it takes to give you one of the best shows you've ever seen. And it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. And even though I've seen them at the fan meet, I would see them again. I would see them again anytime they decide to come back here. I hope to see them again sometime in the future, but it really was an incredible night, an incredible time. Now, just on to other things that might have been left, you know, in the air that you're wondering about. I did meet up with Shine Baby Muse. My phone had died, so I wasn't able to record us together, but we actually met up after the concert was over. We talked for a while. We went to IHOP, and we talked for a long time about everything having to do with K-pop, and it was just a really great night. I didn't leave the IHOP until, gosh, I think close to 1:15, 1:20, something like that in the morning. So I mean, we were up all night just going over how awesome this was, how awesome K-pop is. And really, one of the things that was important in our conversation, which is why I bring it up here, we were talking about, you know, the future of K-pop and why it was so precious to us to go to this event, because SHINee is one of those groups that, you know, they're no longer the face of K-pop like they were. Not saying that SHINee's always been the most important group in K-pop, but there was a time when SHINee was a young group, when you were talking about, you know, who's hot in K-pop right now, that SHINee would automatically come up. But now, with the newer generation of K-pop, people, when they say, what's hot in K-pop right now, they're going to say EXO, they're going to say BTS, they're going to say Monsta X, they're going to say NCT, they're going to say whoever else, but they're probably not going to mention SHINee first and foremost. And because of that, it's now more important than ever to support your veteran groups when they go out on the road. Your veteran groups, your K-hip-hop people, your indie people, you've got to support them when they come out on the road, because it's wonderful that BTS can do a Wings tour here in the United States and that they can fill stadiums. It's wonderful that EXO can continue to come back year after year and make a bunch of money and go home happy and fat. But we need more than that, because K-pop is more than that. And even though you're watching this video and K-pop might be your world, and you might talk with people on Tumblr and Twitter and Instagram who K-pop is their world too, in the grand scheme of things, K-pop is a small microcosm in the larger entertainment and music community. And we have to remember to support these artists when they're out there trying to provide us with entertainment. Because if we don't support them financially, and we don't go to see them, and we don't do what we can to give them the encouragement to come back, they're going to stop coming back. You know, don't think for a minute that SHINee didn't consider going to the East Coast when they decided to come to the United States to do their tour. I'm sure they did. But it was probably one of those things where to rent the venue, they were thinking, are we going to make enough money through ticket sales, through merchandise sales, in order for this to be a profitable venture? And venues in the East Coast cost a lot of money, but Dallas doesn't really cost that much. So they were probably thinking, yeah, we could scoop down to Dallas real quick, make a little quick buck and keep going. Los Angeles, they're probably thinking, well, we have a bigger market in Los Angeles because we have a larger Asian community in Los Angeles or around Los Angeles, so that's more money we can make. And the venues might be a little bit cheaper in LA than they are in New York. So these things are all things that groups keep into consideration. But if they didn't make money at the fan meet in Dallas, they wouldn't have come back to Dallas for SHINee World. That's just a fact. And if they didn't think they could make money in Los Angeles, they wouldn't go to Los Angeles. And Chicago might have been great for them, and they might have made quite a bit of money in Chicago, but when it was time to come back, maybe they just looked at the profit margins and said, this isn't worth it for us. So that's the reason why we have to attend these events. We have to support them. When you go to the events, buy the merchandise. I know that sounds corny and lame, but the merchandise that Subkulture was selling, they were all official SM merchandise pieces. Everything had those little SM holograph stickers on them. So I bought the t-shirt, I bought the stickers, I bought the fan, and I bought the poster. All of them were official. That's another way that not only do the record companies make money, but it makes them think, oh hey, this is another way that we can, you know, profit on this group. Let's send them back out there again, since it's shown that they can make money that way. So we have to do what we can to support them and keep them out there, keep the other artists out there, especially when the artists are coming to like clubs and smaller places. Please, please go out to support them if you can. It's super important, you guys. Super, super important. But yeah, I had a great time. I loved it. I love you guys. I tried to film more performances this time, since the last time I really didn't do that much because I was like losing my mind the whole time. But yeah, it was an incredible experience. And as I'm in a point in my life where, you know, I'm having to make the decision to like, is K-pop something I can continue to kind of keep up with? Because I am moving past my, you know, knowing the names of all the groups and stuff like that. There's so many rookies now, so many people I don't recognize, so many songs I've never heard. I wanted to go to this event to remind myself of why this all became a big thing for me anyway. And definitely it renewed something in me, and not just something in me about supporting K-pop, not just something in me about why I love SHINee, but something in me personally, something in me spiritually. Watching SHINee on that stage, doing what they love after having done it for so long, living their dream, even though, you know, the landscape for them gets tougher and tougher every year, it really made me want to do more with my life. It really made me want to make more changes for myself. It really made me want to be a better me. And in the time since I first saw SHINee at the fan meet and I saw SHINee this time, I've lost 35 pounds, which is not that much considering how big I am. But it was one of those things where I was encouraged to try to do better for myself so that I can live my dreams the same way that SHINee lives their dreams. So yeah, it was definitely almost a spiritual experience to be able to see them, because I was proud of myself for having changed in the time since they've seen me. And I hope to continue to make more changes. I hope to get to a point in my life where it's not going to be a thing for me if I decide I want to blow the money it takes to go to Seoul and see SHINee there instead of them having to come to see me here. So yeah, it was everything. It was everything. And I hope that you all get the opportunity to have these chances to see your favorite acts in person, live and on stage. And for my friends in Europe, Australia, South America, Africa, I'm so sorry that it seems like K-pop forgets you guys are there. I hope they'll start visiting you more often. But I can tell you now that I carried you all in my heart as I went to this event. And I'm really, really glad that at least one of us was there to represent for the crew. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I don't know when's the next time I'll see you on this channel again, because like I said, I'm just not in a place where I can get back to making regular videos. But this was one of those times when I knew I had to share my joy with you, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.